Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
The document which you are seeing currently, this is called Workday Payroll Workbook short form. It is a technically Workday Payroll Discovery template. We have a session called Discovery Session in Workday. Discovery session is nothing but understanding the customer requirement. For example, you are my customer, whom you like, whom you want to implement Workday Payroll. I am the guy who is implementing Workday Payroll for your company. You are a Workday product lead. I will schedule a meeting with you. Last month and on. It can be done in a day, not in a week. You go for a month before starting the project or 15 days depends the requirements. I will set up a call with you. I will keep asking questions to understand how your payroll system works, how your payroll system performing, and how your payroll system has been interfaced with multiple applications. At the same time, why I am asking these questions? Because I would like to record whatever the requirement you have. Where I will record. This is the document. This is the document. I will record all your details. For example, for what we have configured here, you can see. One thing else you cannot see. We will schedule. See, in this requirement this customer has. This is the sample data. I will share this document also with you. This is the sample data. Here they have semi-weekly, bi-weekly. We will schedule that one. We count again. Then after run here off cycle, on cycle. The simpler one we could track to employees on the gross and net pay accommodations. Here you have to ask the customer. When we are going go, like what are the pay periods, you would like to run the payroll. All the details you will capture in this document, pay period details. The same fields, whatever we define on each task here, will be available you can capture. As a payroll contractor, you have to record these details. Or some scenarios. What happen is customers themselves. They will also record and provide the document to you for your review. Either way it will work. Then run categories of cycle, regular, how it looks and what data all regular employees are eligible or not. Whom you want to process the regular and payroll, all employees for terminating employees. Bonus only for active employees, but permanent employees are not eligible. Like this, I will ask questions. I'll capture the data. Then, what are the pay groups we have? Semi-monthly, bi-monthly. Pay group name. What are the run categories you would like to group? All the details you will capture. And who is the payroll partner for the each pay group? The names we will ask, we will configure that way. Just a sec. And then payment reduction rules. What is that? Allow the employee to opt in for check payment or bank deposit or direct deposit. All the details will capture here. And then sheet is just for reference. Ignore this one, please. Withholding order, garnishment. How many employees has garnishments? How many employees has withholding orders? What is the garnishment type? What are the garnishment number you want? We'll capture all the details here. And then federal tax reporting. We discussed the flat tax rate, etc. I still have questions pending to answer. State tax, local tax earnings. What are the learnings you would like to configure? This document must be, at least this page, must be in sync with the compensation page. Might be in the company. Since you already learned and practiced on core compensation, you may have certain earnings. Earnings like base pay might have learned. Car allowance you might have learned. Or sometimes housing allowance you might have learned. All this will capture. And what is the, for example, I'll write one record one. Assume the customer said we have a car allowance. What is our name? Car allowance. Record something like that. What is the code for this car allowance? What is the importance of the code here? The code plays a key role if you're using an external tax processor or actual payroll vendor. If you're using an in-house payroll, the code acts as a reference. I will say car. Then what? How do you want to display on the payslip? Would you like to display car allowance or something different? No, I would like to display it as car allowance. What is the current code available in the system? This is customer is already using a SuccessFactors or SAP or Oracle. They might be already have the data in their historical system. What is the current code for that? Capture if applicable. These things already predefine data. Definitely it is going to add 2 graphs. It's not a placeholder. Does the federal tax impact this? Does the 5CA federal insurance contribution act impacting this earning? That the FEA will be impact on this earning. The state taxes impacting this earning. Like that. And these are all 403 benefit deductions. Today we're going to talk about this. They will provide. We are not the decision makers at all. Is it a gross or funding? Like that. We'll complete all the details on this page. This is going to be your guide while you're configuring. You're going to configure based on these requirements. Always, this document will be provided by Workday. Workday will help us help the consultants. This document provided by Workday. Now, if you think, go ahead, we can download these templates. I'm coming to that point. This document probably Workday's. The water of this document, that is, one where this document is available to options. Each company, they will maintain certain assets. Each company maintains certain assets in a sense, documents. What the documents? They will download actual sources, Workday community sources. What do we search for? We're just talking about the workbook, Workday workbook, origin, data mapping and data validations, a product sign-off, such information. But what's the workbook for? Workbook is going to be a guide for us. Based on that, we are going to configure all our requirements. All of payroll. All parts of payroll are in one workbook. This document is available in the community. In the community, once you logged in, you have to download this template. You can just enter search Workday Discovery Template Payroll. You will get this template. Attachment will be there. And sometimes you can also see some videos to understand how to gather the data. You can download this template directly from Workday. But here is a question. You are a consultant, you know how the document works. I definitely know how it works. But when you are going to the customer, if you would like to simplify this document, like you want to expand the layman language to the customer for understanding, or you want to add some help text or some guidelines, you can do the tweaks here on this document. Sources community. One of the document is working. Why do we need this document? Because this is a document once you capture all the data from your customer. If you see, as I said, what are we discussed for in the previous sessions, all the details once you capture here. Once you capture here, there will be a timeline you have to review. I have this document. Does the customer provide all the information which is required for my configuration? Or is there still any gaps? In my experience, whenever you conduct in a discovery session recording, I want to tell honest answer here. Most of the times we may not get 100% of the requirement in one sitting with the customer. You have to do multiple follow-ups. You have to do multiple rounds of discovery session. Sometimes customer may say, hey, at this moment, consider this detail. At this moment, consider this detail. Under the assumption I'm giving the details to you. Once I get the clarity, once I get all the details from my payroll manager, I will let you know that I have provided you updated my book on to will maintain version 1, version 2 workbooks. And once the customer has provided the book, you are responsible to review and ensure all that it has been provided. If you think that it has not been sufficient to configure anything, then not the customer. Hey, you have not provided this information. Follow up and get the details, then only configure. Once you have all the details, then only please start configuration. Let me give you one example. This is the garnishment document. What data we need in order to record the garnishment for employee? I need employee ID, employee full name to revalidate to make sure for employee we are reviewing. Employee position, position ID, garnishment type. Assume customer has not provided this data. Customer has not provided this. I'm able to create this record. Definitely not. Make sure all of this work you think must be provided. Now here one of the interesting fact is most of the some of the fees are just garnishments are mandatory. But if you see in the document, you can do some tweaks here. Add a stylist. This is like we're tweaking the document which work that they provide, the customer will be aware. Oh, this detail is mandatory. We need to give. Once you get it, do thorough review. And before you go into the P0 build for, ask your customer to provide a consent. Consent is nothing but approval. All the data has been provided in this document has been reviewed by me and my data provider, payroll manager. Everything in the document is correct. And we agreed, if any changes are required, we'll communicate before the timeline. It's a kind of mail approval. That is a sign-off for us. Once I provide the sign-off, Then please start confining this data in the work data. Any questions now? We're talking fully descriptive thing and read it, a document. Since we are discussing on this topic, I would like to explain tenant management also. But any questions on this? Why we're maintaining this document? Who is the owner? Where we'll get this document? What are the importance of this document? This is just a reference for taking the requirement from the client, not a reference. Reference plus data gathering workbook. Data gathering, reference for configuring in the Workday correct. We got configuration in the Workday. For that purpose, we are using this template. There will be a separate template which we have to upload the data in Workday based on the. That is different, correct. That is within the system. It is outside of the system. Any questions, Melissa? But you use this template to upload the data correct. No. We use this template to gather the data from the customer. And they'll copy the data and put it in the EB templates and they will load the data to the tenant. This is requirement data gathering workbook. Where do you get the EAB templates? EAB templates will get from the tenant environments. Assigned pay group, if you remember, we created and we generate the template. We mapped and we helped me on the date format. We are loaded. EABs, when you are learning, it is not that easy. Let me say this. It's not easy. What are the errors are coming in? What data we need to map? How to map? How to validate is completely based on number of errors you got. Number of times you resolve. Based on that, you got the experience. However, I'm going to provide a sample populated EB, successfully validated EAB templates with you. A sample data along with populated data EABs I will provide. Don't worry, I'm not unparalleled related. Before we are going to close the sessions, this week, I will help you on that. Coming to that, please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.